How's it going, guys? This is Weekend Trav with Weighing In with Travis Hartman. Another segment of In This Corner. I have another high-level boxer on the podcast again. We just had Giovanni Marquez yesterday, and now we're following that up with another phenomenal boxer. We have Haskell Rhodes, who is fighting December 2nd in Miami. Haskell, who are you fighting in Miami?
Um, my bad. Okay, so I'll be blocking them out in my head, just like I'll go. But let me think. Yeah, Antonio Perez. There we go.
Antonio Perez. I got you. So is that something that you normally do before one of your fights? Is you kind of just try to block that out, or how do you normally prepare?
No, not really. Shoot. Normally, it's just in between every fight is different. Some fights I like be obsessed with them, and I'll just what's the name? Be looking them up every day. And some I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna even think about. It. I'm just gonna do me. So it's just kind of I feel every camp is different, man.
Yeah. So right on, man. Also, what I've been noticing with you is you're following down a different path than most pro fighters is you kind of started promoting as well while you're still fighting, which is kind of cool. I did a couple of those too, and I absolutely was the stress to the max when I promoted and fought on the card. So I kind of want to ask you the same thing. I know what I went through, and I literally think I took years off my life when I did that. So I want to ask you the same question is when you promoted and fought on that card, you did a couple, right?
Yeah, I did. Was it? It's been four cards, and I fought on three of them.
So can you kind of walk us through the feelings and all of that went through that? I mean, I know it had to be stressful because one, most people don't realize is fighting a professional fight is hard enough. Like that is maximum hard. You also know the business side of promoting. I mean, how did you do that, man?
So I guess I'll just take through the first one. Man, the first one was it's actually I would say it was less stressful than the last few because when you go in you're kind of naive. You don't know what you don't know. So, like now that I know how to throw a show, like I got like the checklist of everything. I'm just like, oh, I haven't done this, I haven't did that, I haven't did this. But the first one, I didn't really have a checklist. So it was just I was just going on the fly and then someone's like, hey, had you got an ambulance come to the fight? I was like, no. And I just hear up and call an ambulance. So it wasn't like really too stressful. It's just like, hey, someone tell me to do this, I do that. They tell me I need to do that, do that. But like now it's super stressful. And then, oh yeah, because, I know what I need to do. And then the checklist isn't checked off yet. And so I'm stressing about checking it off. But more on the first one, it was funny. So, me and my wife, we're doing everything together the whole time. And that's where I kind of messed up because as far as like the fighters and matchmaking, I was doing most of that on my own. And so I forgot all about actually running the fight, So we're talking, we're doing everything, and I have all the fight. Like, cool, we got all the fighters done, this and that, and then we show up to the fight, and I forget that I got to go to the back room, and someone's got to run the show now, and so, but my wife she stepped up and like I went down there, and was like, oh man, I hope it goes smooth.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think something that people don't realize is when you're promoting the show, you control everything from the chairs getting delivered, the tables getting set up, the tickets being sold, who you're picking to run the gloves out to the fights, who's going to work the front desk when people come in and take tickets. I mean, there's so many, who's going to sing the national anthem. Oh, there's like so much that you don't realize, even as a fighter like us. I didn't realize everything that went into a fight card until I did it. And I was just like, oh my gosh. It never got easier for me. So I'm glad that it's gotten a little easier for you. For me, I did three and I fought on two of them. And I think every single one of them, when I was done, I lost so much weight. Like I didn't even have to cut weight for the fight because I was just like, I'm not eating because I'm stressing. And then you know how it is too. You see how promoters go through how it's you're trying to get fighters to show up too. Isn't that insane that we have to say that about professional boxers? Even though they agreed and signed contracts, you're just like, I need you guys to show up. How many people don't show up 1, 2, 3 days out? And you're just like, you're professional boxers. And I'm
Yeah.
having to babysit and make sure you show up, which is insane to me, but people don't realize that. And that on the level of the fights that we do, it's just tough because even though they signed a contract, You're not about to go chase somebody down for a $1,500, $2,000 contract because you're going to spend more money, trying to prosecute, right? So like, it's just, you just got to let it go, but it might affect your whole card, and that's insane. But I think it's awesome when fighters actually become promoters, because what we go through as fighters. So you can kind of eventually, when you kind of retire and things like that, then you kind of know what to expect, what to do, how to make the fighters more comfortable, things like that. So that's my next question is, I don't want you to look too far ahead. I get it, as a boxer, you don't, but eventually you are going to retire, right? So when you retire, and hopefully that's way down the road, but when you retire, is that kind of your goal, is to stay in the game by promoting, or have you thought that far ahead of it?
Yeah, most definitely it is. But I'm gonna go back real quick and touch on a point what you said. But another thing I learned with the very first fight is to kind of like put more fights on the card than you need. So my first fight, I did basically what I thought was gonna be a good card. I was like, all right, 6, 7 bouts, and
Perfect.
the week of I think I had what 7 fights, and I think maybe 4 or 5 of them fell out, and I think the minimum was like fights, and so I think we're down to 2 fights, and then I made 4. I got 2 of them to happen, so I had 4 fights, and I fought on it, but as an exhibition. So my opponent pulled out last minute, and then I couldn't get an opponent that the commission would approve. And so basically last minute I got a guy, a 60-pounder, to just basically drive in and do an exhibition match with me. And so that was the first fight where, and then after that, people was like, yeah, man, you gotta, if you want about 5, 6 fights on the card, match up 9 to 10 fights, because guaranteed 3 or 4 is gonna fall out. So I had to learn that, the hard way, where like the commission was like, hey, we're at the bare minimum. No one need these fights, and you need these rounds to make a fight. And so it was wild. Yeah. So I learned that, about fighters not showing up after they sign the contract and stuff. But back to what you asked. Yeah, of course, I already have one fighter signed. I'm about to sign another fighter as well. Yeah, I have a guy, Alfred Radcliffe, and then we're gonna sign another guy, David Picasso, and I'm in talks with another fighter as well. But yeah, like one of my things I want to do is just give back, because I'm from Oklahoma. Like, I think we have super, super, super talented guys down there, like athletes, but boxing isn't big. So like so most of the guys who have any kind of little talent, they get basically thrown to the wolves, instead of like, hey, let's sit back, get a couple amateurs and and develop. You got guys who are throwing them out there to the wolves for $50 of their
Yeah.
10%. Oh, we can get you $300, and like
Yeah. Yeah.
300
Yeah.
what? But I'm gonna need $50 off that. I can get you $400 and stuff like that. Just like, it's ridiculous. Like, like,
Oh, uh-oh. So we temporarily have lost Haskell, but I'm sure he'll be back up and running here shortly. So give me 1 second here, and we'll probably catch him back on. There you go. I got you. You're back. We got him
my,
back.
yeah, man, a call came through. I tried to click the cancel, and then I clicked.
Kicks you out.
Yeah, yeah,
That's all
yeah.
good. So what were you
Yeah.
finishing up saying there?
Yeah, basically that I want to give back and give guys, like, uh a fair chance, at boxing and stuff, because most guys from Oklahoma and stuff in my area, like, don't have, that chance, where guys want to just, look at the short term, like, hey, I can make $50 off this guy, I can make 100 off this guy. Like, bro, like, 400, $500 for y'all debut is nothing. Like, go do stuff the right way. Let's try and match guys up the right way. So, say down the road, it might not be a lot to most people, in the boxing thing or most states, but shoot, a $4,000, $5,000 fight, let that be something, your biggest payday. Let's just match you guys decent. You guys can have winnable fights at home in Oklahoma, and then we go out and we go on the road. You make a couple thousand rather than just getting thrown to the wolves for $500 the first fight. They only been in the gym for 2 weeks. Where
Yeah.
I've seen guys like no amateur like, and then me on top of that, like when I first went to the gym, a couple coaches, like one guy told me, he's like, "Hey, you like LeBron James? You don't need high school. You ready you ready to go straight to the league." And
Dang.
so like I had no amateurs, and they're trying to turn me pro and stuff like that. It was a couple guys. It's just man a dirty business, and like
Yep.
it's crazy, even on that small level, So it's why I want to give back to guys like that, and just I want to help elevate Oklahoma boxing and stuff as much as I can, because I know we have some athletes. I like to even start a gym and actually give guys like show guys how to properly, throw punches, technique,
Yeah.
rather than just going to the gym and you get to hit Mitch your first day. You're hitting the bag like me. Like people are gonna probably hate training with me because it's gonna be like Mr. Miyagi. You're gonna have to wax on, wax off before you even get to touch gloves, mitts, and all stuff. You gotta learn how to step right, everything. So, but that's like the kind of thing that I'm into, actually teaching people and not just trying to make a quick buck off of them. Which I feel like that's the culture where I'm from. Where everyone just wants to make
Yep.
a dollar and then shoot, and then you end up hating people like that, hating the
Yep.
sport. So
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I think you're 100% right too. I think what people don't realize is out of all sports, professional sports, boxing is one of the most unregulated for the most part. And you do see a lot of snakes come in this game guys who probably never even laced up in their entire life. Now they're jumping in saying they're a coach. And they're also saying there's some booking agent getting people fights. So I think you're right, man. And I'm glad that you're doing this because I do think boxing needs more good, honest guys that have been there, done that. You're still doing that. Like I said, as you're fighting December 2nd in a very high level fight. I know that fight, by the way, I know that Adrian Broner was supposed to headline that. Things didn't happen. He pulled out. But you're still in there. You're still in there with undefeated guys. I want to go back a second though and talk about how you have been around for a minute, right? You're 25-4, I think is your professional record. Am I right?
29,
29
29.
and 4, which is a
Yeah.
phenomenal record, mind you. And I think what people probably don't know is me and you actually fought in the pros as well. You
Yeah.
beat me in a 6-round unanimous decision. It was a great fight.
Oh
What I
yeah.
remember about that is you used to train with Floyd Mayweather. And I think that is pretty cool. And I think that it's impossible not to take away so many things that you learn from him, training wise, managerial wise, all of that stuff. So can you briefly kind of tell the audience a little bit about your time that you spent with Floyd Mayweather Sr.?
With Floyd, it's crazy because his training is almost like kind of, I come from like wrestling and stuff like that. So the way he trains is almost like a wrestling background to a certain extent, where you train hard every day. Where I go to like other coaches, maybe because it's just old school style. His style is old school, where like we have out here in Vegas, Mount Charleston, where most guys they'll run it like on the weekends because it's a hard run. But Floyd, when I was with him, we ran it 4 or 5 times a week, like every day. We waking up and like, hey, he's coming in. The one thing about him, he's cool. He'd come pick me up. He'd come pick me up, drive me all the way to Mount Charleston. It's like 30, 45 minutes away. Like drive up there and then it's 30, 45 minutes back. But that's it's 30, 45 just to get there. And then some days we ran from the bottom up, and then other days like we drive to the middle and run. The other days we drive to the top, and it's probably 25-minute drive up the mountain and stuff till we get to the highest parts and stuff. Where that was one thing that I did learn, where he's all about like hard work and pushing and pushing and pushing and
Yeah.
stuff like yeah. And just little things too. He's big on the most underrated punch I think that people do, and that's jabbing. Me being a shorter guy, I jab a lot, and I think a lot of that's because of him. Like he wants you to jab before and after, almost as a setup attacks and as a defense, so people don't try and counter you. You're still pumping jab. As soon as you let go of big shots, just throw a jab, get back set in a boxing position, and you're keeping them off you. So just in case your eyes aren't that sharp, or your reflexes aren't there, you can say boom, throw a jab, and you're slowing them down. Now you can see where they're at
Yep.
and stuff like. But yeah, but he taught me a lot of stuff like that, the shoulder roll, and just how to stay composed and stuff in there. Because before I was just anxious to
Yeah.
hair.
Yep.
So it helped you like settle down, settle down, settle down. But I think the only thing that he was lacking at the end when I came in is basically had to relay some messages because he had all the right teachings, but sometimes like the different generations, he didn't know how to like slow it down and like relay the message of what
Yeah.
exactly he say to me and stuff. He'd be like, no man, you gotta even like say putting snap on a punch and like punching the bag. Like at first, I'm pushing punches and stuff. And he's like, man, we hit the bag, it's he couldn't just tell him like, hey, snap, like boom, the bag should wobble, it shouldn't be swinging and stuff like that,
Yep.
where certain things, but like he's gonna teach you everything. So especially like if he's hungry. I came in at a perfect time, like so it might be kind of personal, like their life was personal, but I came in when him and Floyd like literally like 2 days after they fell out, and it was like on one of the all accesses or whatever when they fell out
Yeah.
over,
Yeah.
and I came in, and so then this dude, like, he's basically putting everything into me at that point because he's like, "Oh man, my son." Basically, he wasn't saying "f him," but that was kind of like almost like the feeling like, "Oh, f him." I'm gonna put everything into you, and then it's like me and Mickey Bay at the time and stuff, but Mickey kept getting hurt with hand injuries, and so it was a few of us, but so I was there every day just soaking it up, and he's trying to really push me like, I want you to get to that level so I can show them this and that. So
Yeah.
real cool, man, getting to learn.
So real quick though, that's amazing story, by the way. If anybody not knows that, watch way back in the day when Floyd was doing those 24/7 or all accesses. Him and his dad got into it real bad, which my dad trained me too. I've had moments in the gym that weren't good either, and theirs just happened to be televised, so that sucked, but it was also good for TV. But what I want to ask is, how did you even get in contact with Floyd Mayweather Sr. to let him start training you? How'd that
So
go about?
it was random luck, everything all mixed into one, and so like actually came to Vegas. So I have like great parents and whatever. So my mom, she was like, at the time, I think right before like I was in school, had a job and everything, but I was getting good and getting better. And so she was like, hey, if you really want to take this to the next level, do you think you can do it in Oklahoma? And then at first I moved to St. Louis, and then I came
Wait,
back.
St. Louis, Missouri?
Yep.
Oh my, I didn't know that. That's I'm from Missouri originally, obviously. St.
I
Louis is on the other side. I'm near Kansas City, but I didn't know that. Where did you locate down there, and who were you training with down in St. Louis?
I was actually training at a MMA gym and this little boxing gym right down the street. I'm actually was on the Illinois side. So basically I was in where Granite City is, which is basically East St. Louis.
I've
Like
heard of it. Yeah, yeah. Because you're
yeah,
right on
so
the border. Yep.
yeah, I was like right there on the border, which is, basically still people consider it St. Louis, but it's like called Granite City. It's like right there where East St. Louis is, but in
Gotcha.
Illinois on. And so I was like right there. I forgot the boxing gym I used to go to, but I used to go mainly to the MMA gym up there too. So I was like right in all in that area and stuff. So it was real cool being out there. And then I came back to Oklahoma, and oh yeah, funny story. So that's my first time ever being like in a, to me, St. Louis is a big city. So they had what,
Yeah, it
like
is.
Emma Star, and it was some other little casino.
Ameristar.
So yeah, so
They had
I
pro
remember
fights there.
I was like young at the time or whatever. I think like so I'm just turning whatever 21 something out there, and so I'm like, man, I want to go out, but I'm a broke kid who just trying to trying to fight and stuff. So I every weekend for me to go out and try and have fun with my friends, I go to the casino and I have like $20. I'll put it on what was it? I think it was 21. Yeah, game of 21. I just bet my whole $20 and then on the first hand. And then if I won, I'm like, all right, I got $40. I just leave. Every time, like that was like
That's
my
amazing.
and I don't know how I always win that first hand. And I just take my 40 and I leave. Like, all right, I got something to go do now.
Don't do this at home, kids. Remember this. Don't do this at home. But it worked out for Haskell.
Somehow, some way. But yeah, but so I went down there for a while. It was cool. And then so then I'm back in Oklahoma. My mom's like, what do you want to do? And then we came up like with a list. We was like, I think Florida was on there. It was Florida, California, Las Vegas, New York, and I think maybe even Texas, maybe. But I know those four for sure was like, all right. And then she was like, what's the name? I know someone in my family. She said she knew someone that knew someone that knew someone that might know Floyd, or whatever, some stuff like that. But anyways, long story short, me and my mom, we fly out to Las Vegas. We get a little hotel for like a week, and she just, helped me. We go to the gym and stuff, and there is the oldest gym in Vegas just shut down a couple years ago, Johnny Tucko's or whatever.
Yep.
Or so it sucks that it shut down. But so we go in there and shoot, and then in walks Floyd, senior, whatever, a little bit later. And another crazy story is we did like some mitts together, like wasn't meshing at all. And so we weren't gonna wasn't gonna train me or whatever. And so anyways, one of the next days I go in there and there's this kid. He's like, he basically, I don't want to say beats up everybody, but he gets everyone hard sparring sessions and stuff because he's like a rough dude. Like he's probably like only like a inch or two taller than me, but kind of built like me, a short, stocky guy, but physically strong. And
Was
so
he professional?
I think he was, yeah. But like he didn't have like a great record or nothing like that, but he was just he was
Tough,
just
durable guy.
And so if you put in like a super slick boxer at that moment with me, like they're gonna make me look like trash. But this guy who he gets all the slick boxers like problem because he's so just rough and
Yeah.
rugged, but he's perfect for me because he's like my style. I'm faster. I was a little stronger physically, or I could push him off me and do whatever I needed to. So it was just like everything lining up perfect. So this guy who Floyd Senior is like, man, he gets everyone trouble in the gym and like, hey, won't y'all spar? And I spar and I get the better of them, just like I'm touching them up, touching them up, touching them up. And then Floyd's like, I can work with you. I can work with you. So it was just like perfect. I had the perfect person I sparred at the perfect time. He had already been doing stuff to like good boxers who probably would have touched me up, but
Yeah.
he had the perfect style and made me look good. And so Floyd was like, wait, you're good. And so when we went from there, man, and it was cool. And then, all the stuff. So after that, my first week in Vegas training with Floyd, that's when all like the Charlie Z stuff happened too. So
Yeah, that video went like viral, right?
yeah, crazy. Uh
So
so
so kind of let the audience know a little bit about that. I watched it. I remember what happened. Like Zelenoff and I think Floyd Mayweather were sparring a little bit, right? And then
yeah,
he kind of hit him with a cheap shot or something like that. I didn't even know this, but it was you that jumped in the ring and like had Floyd Mayweather's back. So that's a
yeah,
pretty cool story, man. Like,
yeah,
so that's when you guys had just started working together, though.
yeah. And so it's probably we've been working together for only maybe a week and a half at the most. So at this time I don't know anyone in Vegas. So he's the only person I really know. My mom, she went back, and so he's literally coming to the hotel where I'm staying at, picking me up every day, taking me to the gym, taking me to Mount Charleston to run. So like he's the only person I know. I'm like, this dude cares about me. He's picking me up, doing all this. So like when it happened, like I'm like, I have to do something. Like this is the only person I know. And so anyways, all right, I'll rewind to what happened. So it's it's like at the end of the day, like we all train early and stuff, and somehow we're in there late. Like it's probably like 4 or 5 p.m. Most of the people that train with us are already gone. Like at the time, it was like Mickey Bay trained with us. I think Kevin Newman, he trained with us. Maybe Andrew Tabiti at the time. I know he was around us, but I'm not sure if he was there with us yet. But
Yeah.
anyway, so everybody left, and I'm riding with Floyd, so we're still there. It's a bunch of like young guys who come in and train after they get out of school. And anyway, so we're all just chilling. And Johnny Tacos, on one side of the gym, there's a ring and only one bag on that side when you walk in. The
Yep.
other side, all the bags over there. So this white dude walks in, like um we don't know who he is. Then he goes and puts on
Skinny
gloves.
white dude, by the way, too.
Yeah, yeah. And just starts wailing on the bag like this. Wow. And so, anyways, like obviously trying to get, everyone's attention. So like everyone just like we're all just chilling there talking stuff. So everyone starts looking at him. Then Floyd Senior goes up there and tell him like, hey, like if you tighten up your punches, you might can do something. He tells him that, like, kind of give him a little, trying to tell him like, just
Be
tighten up.
positive, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so then he looks at Floyd and he's like, yeah, I know. And then he hits the bag in, and then he says something like, I can knock out Klitschko. So this is 2011. And so, and like Klitschko, still the man. So he's
Yeah.
maybe. And then, he hits the bag a couple more times. And he's like, and I can knock out. He says another name. I forgot the second name he says. And then Floyd's like, possibly, maybe. And then he hits the bag again. And he's like, your son, or Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Dude, this kid's a little delusional because he also tried to spar with Deontay Wilder later on too. But
yeah,
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 this kid's delusional, clearly.
yeah. And so, after that, that's when Floyd's like, hey, I'm gonna stop you right there. You ain't beating no Mayweather. You ain't knocking out no Mayweather. And then he's like, I'll knock you out.
This has got to be pretty cool for you because this is like all new. You're from Oklahoma. You're right in the middle of all of this. Like, this has got to be like insanely kind of like different and cool at the same time, but also like a little wild, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like, I don't really know how from, because being from Oklahoma, you you grow up learning to like respect your elders. So at one point
Yeah.
is while at the same time, like, why is he talking to this old man like? And then on top of that, it's Floyd Senior. Like, that's, he's a legend just off his son and their family name.
He's
Roger.
boxing royalty.
Yeah, like you don't even talk to regular, older guys like that, let alone him. And so, like, I'm still like kind of confused, kind of laughing and stuff. But then so Floyd's like, hey, somebody, give me gloves. And then he looks like, and then he grabs Zonoff's hands, like, what size gloves? Like, grabs one. He has on tens. And he's like, somebody, give me some tens. Give me tens. And then that's when, like, I'm still kind of confused. Like, they really gonna spar? Like, Floyd really gonna spar?
Yeah, because Floyd's what, over 50 probably at this time,
That time
or
he's
right
like
at 50.
458. Yeah, he's like 50 something at that time.
Yeah, like that's insane. And Zelenoff is like probably early 20s.
Yeah. Uh, and so then, like, kind of the people who run the gym, they come out from the back or whatever, like, what's going on? Something. Anyways, they're like, hey, Floyd. They're like, nah, man, don't do it, Floyd. And then he's like, nah, I'm sparring him. So then everyone's like, all right, yeah, all right. And so then that's like when the video cuts on when everyone's around the ring and
Yeah.
like everyone's got their phones down and kind of laughing. And then he just comes out wailing on Floyd, just like he was wailing on the bag. And then Floyd tried like grab him, like kind of slip down. I still remember like right at the Floyd like kind of slip. He just throws his hands up like, I win. and then so then everyone's like, no, Floyd's like, come on. And so they start going, and then next time he throws like one of them big haymakers, Floyd, and counter right hand, miss. And then that's when he seemed like, oh, I messed up. This dude can fight
Yeah.
still. And then, the sparring stuff happened. Floyd starts taking over, and then he jumps out of the ring, and then everyone like starts clapping. And then when Floyd turns around, start walking back to the corner, here he goes, jumping the ring, and then I just seen him swing, and I think he hit Floyd like 3 times or whatever. But at that point, I blacked out. Like, I didn't know what had happened and stuff until like halfway through, where like I go and hit him when he's on the ground, like I slap him, and then why I I am like, that's why I come to him like, what the heck just happened? But then so like another dude is like outside the ring. You can't even really see on the video. But then like when I'm trying to like figure out like what's going on because I'm just coming to, and then the other dude like like kicks him through the ring. You can't see his foot, but then he's like, and then he's like cussing. He's like cussing. I'm like, oh, some, and then like trigger me again. So then I was trying to like hit him again. It's like, he did just do this, And then so, anyways, they're like, all right, stop. And then my guy John, man, this dude is funny. If you actually listen to the video, it's funny. So John like breaks it up, and then whenever we're stopping, whenever at the end of the video, you can hear John. He's like a coach in there. He's like, all right, now let's finish. Let's finish the sparring. Well, I'm like, dude, like, who says that like finish the sparring? But
That's
anyway,
wild.
there's another video too of us like outside the ring, everyone talking and stuff where or you can see Charlie like he goes in his backpack and he pulls out a shirt with him with all these belts and like, look at this. I'm at the time I think he's only 68-0. Like he still messaged me. I think he's 600-0 now. Or five, I think 600-0.
But he's
Like,
never fought. He's never fought.
or he
Right?
had one fight.
Did he win?
No.
See, like, if anybody want, like, I don't like giving this guy love, but Charlie Zelenoff, if you want to enjoy and laugh a lot, Google or YouTube Charlie Zelenoff, and you will find a ton of stuff. Floyd Mayweather Sr. By the way, Haskell too. When I fought you, it was Lydell. What do you go by? You go by Haskell or Lydell?
So that's another like funny story. Like
Yeah.
either one want to call me. So my first name is Haskell, middle name is Lydell. So, but growing up as a kid and stuff, like, man, Haskell ain't no tough name. You want to call me Haskell. So it's like the first day of school every year when they're going down the road sheet, they're like Haskell Rhodes, and I run. Sometimes I might raise my hand, other times I wouldn't, and then after they like say all this, I'm like, my name's Lydell. It's not Haskell.
my name is. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But it's like, man, I don't like the name, man. It's like it's soft, but then you get older, you're like, man, and people are like, I like that name. It's different, it's unique, Now I'm like, yeah, just call me, Haskell. But so many people know me for my middle name now, but so yeah. I just answer both of them. But yeah,
I got you. So, I mean, we've definitely been off topic a little bit for sure. You're fighting December 2nd in Miami. What is your immediate professional boxing plans? I know that we've talked about your business side. We've talked about, leading up to all that. You train with Floyd Mayweather. But what is your business side personally for your boxing right now? Like, what are you kind of looking forward to? Do you have any plans past this fight? I know that you're not supposed to look past this fight, but we're also adults here. We're getting a little bit older. We know that we're trying to plan for the future. What are your future plans as a competitor in professional boxing?
Shoot, just basically make my next move my best move. So, go out here, like you said, not overlook this kid and get this win and get this would be for like let's say international WBC belt would give me ranked in the top 15 in the world. But then right after this, I'm gonna drop back down to 130 and hopefully fight another kid that I've been in talks with. He's an undefeated guy, try and fight him, get that win, and then I like trying to call out the champions because I'll be ranked, for the belt at 130 and trying to fight some of the champions there. But really, it's crunch time, because like I said, it's at the end of my career, or whatever. So I need to make all my moves, my best moves, and put everything into it. Where before I had the perfect opportunities. I was telling my girl the other day where she was like, "Do you regret anything?" And I was like, a couple things, but mainly some of my fights at 130, I didn't diet and do stuff the right way where like I lost because of my own self, like not having any energy and killing make weight. I'm not saying not trying to say anything bad about my opponents because they're all still good guys and the guys I lost to like the at 130 like Edner Cherry, Jason Sosa and Omar Douglas, like great guys. Like I'm I'm friends with although I'm not friends with Jason Sosa on social media, but all the other guys I am were, if I was going to lose anyone, it'd be those guys. They weren't like trash talkers or anything
Yeah.
like most a lot of boxers are and stuff like that. But I feel like I did myself a disservice where I wasn't living the life of a boxer every day, of eating the right things or even, just hanging out at times when I shouldn't be. And just, now, it's cliche, but you gotta, it's a lifestyle. And I'm finally like not just talking about it, but being about it, so I want to actually put my best foot forward and give myself a real chance and go out there feeling 100%. And that's my goal is to, get this fight out the way, drop back down, the right way with a good strict diet, make 130 healthy and strong, and then run it up and try and call out a couple of world champions at 130.
I love it, brother. I definitely want to have you back on the podcast to come back on, especially after some of these fights, because I think you have a super interesting career, a super interesting story leading up. We definitely barely even touched on anything, but I want to wrap this up. What I end up doing is when I finish a podcast out, I have 6 questions. I give you 30 seconds to answer these questions. I've done it for everybody, Terrence Crawford, Marquez, everybody. So I want to do it with you as well. So let me put the 30 seconds on the clock here. 1 second. And there's 30 seconds, so it's just rapid fire. It's nothing like crazy hard, but it's just 30 seconds for 6 questions. All right. Are you ready here?
All right, gotcha.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me get it again. 30 seconds. All right. Boom. All right. Out of these 2 rappers, who's the best? Kanye West or Jay-Z?
Kanye.
Out of these 2 fighters, who's the best pound for pound right now? Terrence Crawford or Canelo?
Can I can I pass? I don't know.
No, you can't pass. Ask. 1 and 2. Come on, you can do it.
All right. Terrence Crawford, but Canelo's resume.
All right. Who is the most overrated of these 2 heavyweights, Ali or Tyson?
Overrated. Possibly Tyson.
Okay. What is the better of these 2 foods, pizza or tacos?
Pizza.
Jake Paul or Logan Paul?
Logan.
Who's your current favorite athlete right now and can't say yourself?
It's hard. I have somebody. Let me think. I
Man.
would Shakur, but
Shakur. That's not a bad one. That's not a bad one at all.
yeah.
That's your 30 seconds. You went past a little bit, but we'll have a little leeway because we like you. You're awesome. But listen, Haskell, thank you so much, man, for taking time. I know that you're a family man. I know that you have kids, you have a wife and all of that. You take time away from your family for this. I know you're getting ready to fly down to Miami as well. I want to wish you the best. We'll have you back on some more to talk about some more stuff, especially talk about the time that when I fought you after the fight, you prayed with me in the middle of the ring. I know we didn't get a chance to talk about that, but I want to go in more depth with that next time. But I want to thank you for doing that. You and Floyd both happily obliged. And I want to go into that story next time. We don't have enough time this time, but I want to wish you the best, man. And also, I want you to know that we're pulling for you, man. I'm rooting for you. I know this sport is tough and it's hard, but I think that you do have the tools and the capabilities and the intelligence to get through this smartly. So you have anything to say to your fans before you leave here?
Shoot, just thank you guys for riding with me. It's been a long road, roller coaster ups and downs, but yeah, we're gonna pull through and get to the title one of these days and keep making things happen.
Thank you for being on Weighing In with Travis Hartman, man. I appreciate it. We have Haskell Rhodes, who's fighting December 2nd in Miami. Thanks a lot, brother.
Thank you, brother.